Part 1. Origins. In the year 384 BCE, in a small town called Stagira, on the northern edges of Greece, a child was born. His name, Aristotle. His father, Nicomachus, was no ordinary man. He served as a physician to the royal Macedonian court. This meant that young Aristotle grew up surrounded not only by scrolls and remedies, but by a sense that knowledge could be used to heal, to guide, to serve. It wasn't just learning, it was purpose. But fate, as it often does, intervened early. Aristotle lost both of his parents before he was a teenager. Orphaned, but not abandoned, he was sent to the care of a guardian. And even in this, the path of the philosopher was already being laid. At the age of 17, Aristotle journeyed south, to Athens, to the beating heart of the Greek world, to a place where questions were currency and dialogue was sacred. He entered the academy, not just any school. This was the Academy of Plato. And so it begins. Part 2. The Academy and Plato. Soft strings in the background. A sense of entering a sacred space. The Academy. Not just a place, but a sanctum. A grove of olive trees where minds gathered not to argue, but to ascend. And in its heart, the towering presence of Plato. For 20 years, Aristotle remained in Plato's academy. He studied politics, poetry, biology, ethics. He dissected animals, wrote on tragedy, and analyzed the structure of government. To Aristotle, no question was too small. All things had meaning. All things revealed the principles of being. Plato taught that reality was dual, the world of appearances and the world of forms. But Aristotle, ever the observer, ever the realist, believed the truth was here, in this world, in substance, in motion, in the essence of each thing. When Plato died in 347 BCE, Aristotle was not chosen to lead the academy. He left, not in exile, not in bitterness, but in pursuit. Part 3. The Wanderer and Hermias. Wind blowing softly. A quiet shift from the structured halls of Athens to the open road. He traveled to Asia Minor, to the court of Hermias of Atarneus, a former slave-turned-philosopher king. There he found sanctuary. He married Pythias, Hermias's niece. He studied marine life, wrote, and lived in peace. But peace is often brief. Hermias was captured and executed by the Persian Empire. Aristotle honored his friend with a hymn, rare for a philosopher, but revealing of his heart. He then traveled to Lesbos, where he continued his biological research with Theophrastus. Together they catalogued nature, fish, birds, and plants, laying the groundwork for scientific classification. But soon, history called. A new chapter was beginning. A royal summons was on its way. Part 4. Tutor to Alexander. Distant marching. A slow ceremonial drum. Macedonia. The court of King Philip II. Aristotle was invited to teach a prince, Alexander. In the town of Mysa, Aristotle instructed Alexander in philosophy, science, poetry, and politics. He gave him a copy of Homer's Iliad, annotated with his own thoughts. Alexander carried it into battle. Aristotle taught the prince not what to think, but how to think. The seeds of philosophy were sown in the mind of the man who would become Alexander the Great. But even the brightest students outgrow their teachers. As Alexander set out to conquer the world, Aristotle returned to Athens, this time to found his own school. Part 5. The Lyceum, his own school. Footsteps on stone, a door creaking open into a hall of scrolls and voices. In 335 BCE, Aristotle founded the Lyceum. It was a school, yes, but it was also a research center, a museum, a library, a living map of knowledge. His students were known as peripatetics, those who walked as they learned. Aristotle taught by walking, by asking, by examining. He wrote on logic, creating the structure of rational thought, biology, classifying nature by careful observation, ethics, advocating the golden mean of virtue, politics, studying real governments to find the most virtuous, metaphysics, asking what it means to be, poetics, understanding tragedy and the soul of storytelling. His goal, to create a unified system of knowledge, a mirror to the cosmos. Part 6. The philosopher's mind. Logic, ethics, metaphysics, and more. The world slows. Quiet wind through trees, the sound of turning pages, logic. He created the syllogism, reasoning, built from premises and conclusion. Logic became a tool for truth, ethics. The goal of life was eudaimonia, fulfillment, through virtue, through balance, through choice. Politics. Man is a political animal. A good government cultivates virtue in its people. Metaphysics. What is being? What causes change? He described the four causes, culminating in the unmoved mover, the ultimate explanation, natural science. He studied life not as myth, but as pattern. Nature was intelligible, beautiful, worthy of reverence. Part 7. Exile and death. Waves against the shore, a solitary bird in flight. In 323 BCE, Alexander the Great died. Anti-Macedonian sentiment flared in Athens. Aristotle was accused of impiety. He fled to Chalcis, saying, "I will not allow Athens to sin twice against philosophy." In 322 BCE, he died, quietly, perhaps with a pen in hand, perhaps watching the sea, perhaps already drifting beyond the reach of thought. Part 8. Legacy, the philosopher of all things. Warm, radiant music, a sun rising on the horizon of memory. Aristotle's works endured, copied, studied, debated. In the Islamic world, he was preserved and expanded by Avicenna, Averroes. In Christian Europe, by Thomas Aquinas. In modern science, his fingerprints remain. He believed that wonder was the beginning of wisdom, that philosophy was not a luxury, but a path to live well. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. He did not give us answers. He gave us better questions. And in that, he gave us the world.